Hi there. A lot of us have heard a lot of talk about the Great Resignation, and there's a lot of debate about exactly what that means. Statistically speaking, in 2021, more than 20 million people left their jobs. One of the highest months on record was November, with 4.53 million reported by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Now, there's a lot of debate, like I said, about what this actually means in our society. Because, for example, in 2021, there was astronomically high or historically high hiring rates as well. And there's a lot of discussion too about what sectors were impacted. For example, the services industry was highly impacted, as was the healthcare industry, which can be explained a lot by problems with the pandemic and exhaustion from the pandemic, mass closures and mask mandates, etc. But what's interesting is to also break down and look at who it is that's leaving. A large number of baby boomers left during this time. This is also easily explainable. Most baby boomers who are still working at this time are actually over the retirement age. And long have there been complaints by other generations that baby boomers have resided in those positions far too long. And so it's actually probably a good thing that many of those have left. And they actually saw this as an opportunity to cash in on retirement and go ahead and leave the workforce. But what's more concerning is the number of millennials and Gen Z generation folks who have left the workplace. So why might that be? A number of polls have also circulated about, and some of the top responses for why people have left the workforce is a toxic workplace. This can also be seen through a newly emergent awareness about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and how a company or how an organization is responding to DEI. Also, lack of acknowledgement. This is an old argument, and people just feel like they're not being acknowledged or their contributions are not being honored. There's also a lack of work-life balance. People are increasingly finding that self-care and well-being are a significant portion of their work lives. And if an organization doesn't honor that, well, then those people are going to seek that elsewhere. And finally, unhappiness with the employer response during the pandemic. Now, what's also interesting about this is to consider all of these things in light of the fact that America is more educated today than ever before in our history. In fact, we're one of the most educated countries in the world. And so how is it that with all this education and talent that we have so many people leaving the workplace? Now, there's a large number of people out there who have suggested that it's just because people are lazy and that they don't want to work, they want to mooch off of government subsidies. Now, I don't really feel that way. I believe that people really, truly want to contribute. In fact, a key characteristic of millennials and Gen Z workers is their desire for high impact work. They have a passion to contribute to the improvement of our society, of the individuals within that society, and also to our planet. What an amazing thing. What a glorious thing. So the question is then, how do we respond to that going forward? And let me tell you, coaching can truly help. One of the ways that coaching can help is through organizations, by helping organizations adapt to newly emerging trends in ways that will help attract that great talent. And not only attract it, but to keep it and to keep that talent contributing in positive ways. The second way is that coaching can support individuals by reconnecting them with their priorities and values and helping them to seek work that expresses their talents, skills, and abilities in ways that are productive, giving them ways to or outlets for all of that passion for high impact work. Now, I work with both individuals and organizations to become grounded in their authentic values and to begin to develop a roadmap that leaves them inspired for the way forward, especially those in high impact work. If you're an individual who's disenfranchised with the workforce and looking to completely shift to something new, maybe you want that high impact work. Maybe you want to see your efforts contribute in ways that are meaningful. Or you're an organization and you're seeing the Great Resignation play out in your work. And you want to be able to figure out how can you adapt to keep that talent in your organization. Well then, reach out and let's discover with kindness your way without borders.